Hi and welcome back to TCM Education. This will be our second video today where we analyze based on our daily power list stocks that were outperforming yesterday. We already analyzed KWE. That's KWE, which had everything lined up for it, a range percentage of 81, volume 15 million shares, and closed up not triple digits but deep into double digit territory, which makes the trade or the intraday price action very, very unstable. So on one hand we want to see big winners, on the other hand those double digit, when we go above 20% into the 30s plus, not to mention the high double digit, things are going really out of hand. Most of the time the moves are unsustainable thanks to spurs of buyers, illiquidity. There are big issues and sometimes those moves are not sustainable. They are actually hurting traders, and I have a video coming up. We're going to talk about this issue later on today. So let's look into a more normal company. That's HSAI. You're guessing probably that according to the name, it's not a US company, and it's a Chinese company. That's those are the basically the data that we gathered on the platform, or sorry, on the list. So HSAI closed up 20%. Volume was 8 million. The range percentage, which is super important for us, obviously way above 10%, which is super important. And let's see now. Let's dive into the chart and see what happened, and see if, how, and what are the prerequisites for us as day traders. Can you take advantage of this 20% move or not? Sometimes there's a 30% move and there's absolutely no way to trade it, and sometimes there's a 5% move and it's amazing how easy it is to trade it. So let's start with the beginning, and the beginning is not very very appealing, because the stock basically starts without any, let's face it, without any hint or signal that it's going up. Basically, if we look at yesterday's chart and the close yesterday was hold on a second, 9:30. The 4 p.m. the close yesterday, sorry, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, so Tuesday at 4 p.m. was at 9:33, and at the beginning of the trading day the stock actually moves lower. So not only that it doesn't show on any screen, okay, as a winner, maybe it's not showing as a loser because it dropped like 1 or 2%, which is and not on any expected volume. But you can see here that nothing really happened that will push it into our daily power list, not to mention any other screen. So at the beginning we have nothing about HSAI, nowhere to trade it. Obviously nobody's looking at HSAI. I don't know if 0.0001% of traders are even focusing on this stock, although the robotaxi business is really hot these days, obviously. So what happens next? The stock basically is gathering some momentum. I don't know why. Maybe some intraday news, whatever. I didn't read about it. I'm just trying now to focus the way you are all and we are all looking at the stock that doesn't really, it's not a factor to us. So the stock starts to move higher. By the time we observe it, it needs to be at least 5% in the money. So if it started at 20, it needs to go to 21. That's 5%. So if we go to 21, that's this area here. not to mention 20, maybe over, maybe at 2050. I'm just pointing potential entry points. But from 20 to 22, that's 10%. From 20 to 21, that's 5%. So let's say you observe the stock. Okay, it does have a clear uptrend after this. Let's call it hour at the beginning where it does nothing. So it starts to climb and climb and climb, and if you look at the chart, it's an unbelievably strong chart. The drawback, and we really have to, show the limitations of the power list, is that we don't want a lot of stocks into the power list, because if there are too many stocks, you cannot manage them. And if there are too little stocks, then you miss on others. In this case, I have to say this is a clear miss, because we observe it around the 21 area, which is here. A breakout over 21. Now, is this a tradable breakout? Not really. So really, there are two options now. After missing the 21 breakout, which is a perfect trade for more than $1.50. So let's say it's not. We don't see this 2070 to 2050 bull flag formation. Okay. Sorry. And then the stock really runs higher very, very fast. Now, if you observe that, you already have a huge winner cut out for you, because the stock basically breaks 2070 and ends up whenever $2 plus in the money. That's 10% in the money. Later on in the day, risking 1%. That makes it a 10-to-1 risk-reward trade. But I'm assuming that it's not happening. So given that 21 is also a late entry and the stock really runs free immediately after, you have to look for an optional pullback. And the optional pullback comes here to 2160, but sits here only 4 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. So again, you're missing on the entry here. Bottom line, I think the only place to enter is at 22. It still leaves, guess what? It still leaves a 15-cent risk and a dollar plus target. So it's still a late entry, looks extended, but the stock is delivering. And why it's delivering? Because it has a unique quality. Yes, it had a unique quality yesterday. It was one of only I think 19 stocks that fit the power list. That's why the power list is so important, because it screens out a lot of weakness and basically converges or presses only 19 out of thousands of stocks. Okay, so that's the power of the power list. Now, of course, it comes with a lot of other limitations, but it basically compresses very few stocks out of thousands that all you need is one to deliver. So let's say you have two 1% losers, and here is a 10% winner. So it's still the risk reward when you play this list according to the strategy. You can miss. Okay, we can miss. Sometimes you will miss 2 trades in a row, sometimes 4. But we've seen 20 to 1 trades. Okay, that close at the highs of the day. So again, the strategy is basically looking at the strongest stocks out of thousands. The list is very limited, and you can easily browse through those stocks that are here on the list, and you'll see that some basically don't have an uptrend. Those others are downtrending. Others are maybe spready. I don't know. I mean, out of those 19 stocks, 2 hours before the market closes, you can focus really fast on 2 or 3, and that's it. Another way to look at this list is to basically dedicate a chart to each stock, and so you can easily dedicate per one huge screen 9 charts or 6 So you need 2 screens for 12 stocks, and you're covering 80% of the action in front of your eyes, and then it's easy to capture one trade. One trade can feed you, I don't want to say a week, but can feed you one day easily. One trade, not to mention 2. If you are going into 2 5-to-1 trades, and again 5-to-1 means either 5,000 shares per position or 50,000 shares per sorry, no, not shares, $5,000 per position, doesn't matter the number of shares, or $50,000 per position, and you decide as a trader the size of the position, of course, and you assume the risk. So on $50,000 you assume a risk of 500, on 5,000 risk of 50. That's your own private math. Nobody cares. I don't care, obviously. Nobody, the market doesn't care. The stocks trade above 5 million shares, so nobody cares how many shares you buy, because the liquidity is perfect. That's why we're using this list. Okay, so the stock here closes at the highs of the day. I wanted to emphasize the power of this list. You enter this trade so late in the day, and it still delivers. Now, obviously, there will be remarks. There are no guarantees that it's going to deliver, and of course there are no guarantees. We're talking about stocks. Okay, but you're entering a stock that you want it to deliver after 2 p.m. Okay, this is the case here pretty much. So sorry, the entry is, let me see, the entry is at, yeah, exactly 2 p.m. and you want it to close at the highs of the day. Let's say it doesn't. Okay, worst case scenario, you lose, in this case, less than 1%. So the risk on this trade is 206 to 16 cents, or let's call it 20 cents. Okay, you lose a little bit less than 1%. Let's say you do have commissions if you don't live in the US, so you pay the commissions. It's a full 1%. On your position, 1%. No trader is going to come back and say one percentage loss on my position hurt my account. This is not your account. This is your position, not the full account. Okay, I agree that some of you or many of us trade leverage, but it's still 1% of the position. You cannot go wrong here. Okay, so, and this is for a very late entry. Assuming an early entry, in this case, probably it's not applicable using only the power list. You have a 20% winner here. The stock moves from 20 to $23. How much is it? Sorry, it's a 15% winner. Okay, so a 15% winner is a game changer if you do it once a day, and then you have another 5% winner. That's 20%. That's a huge winning day for any day trader. I wish I could find them myself. Okay, so that's beside the point. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for being here with this video. Again, I'm way above my target. I was talking about putting 2 stocks into this video. We are already 14 minutes out of the 15. Sorry about that. So we'll have to do another video. I will pick another stock that looks interesting and we can learn from it out of this list of 18. You can do the same. Please share this video with your day trading friends, and join us if you want or wish for our Sunday seminar. Thanks a lot. All the details are in the description. See you in the next video.